The diagram shows the circle with equation x squared plus y squared equals 261. A tangent to the circle is drawn at point A with coordinates p minus 15, where p is greater than 0. Find an equation of the tangent at A. Right. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to look at point A in more detail. Point A is given as p minus 15. Now, if we write the equation of a circle, it's given in terms of x squared plus y squared equals to r squared. So it means our r is going to be square root of 261. So if I draw a line from the origin up to here, that line is going to be square root of 261. Now I don't know what p is, so we don't know what p is. So to work out p, we need to construct or just draw a right angle triangle. We've got a right angle triangle. There is something else we know about point A. Point A is 15 minus 15, so it means that if the y value here is minus 15, it means the length of our triangle is 15. It's a right angle triangle. So if we have a right angle triangle, so let's just draw it out here somewhere separate. It's probably best to draw that properly. And we know the two sides of the triangle. We know that this is 15 centimeters. This is a right angle, and we know that this is square root of 261. So we can work out what p is if we know the distance or the base of this triangle. So to use that, we're going to use that's C, that's B. So we're going to do C squared minus B squared, and that would give us A squared. So we would have 261 squared minus 15 squared. That would give us 36. So that's going to be A squared. So A squared is 36. So A is going to be plus or minus square root of 36, which is plus or minus 6. So we've been told that P is greater than 0. So the only conclusion we can have from that comment or that fact is that P must be 6. So we're not going to have a negative 6. So this point here, P is going to be 6. So if I write that point A is going to be 6 minus 15. Okay. Next, we want to know what the gradient of the line tangent of A is. Well, we really want to know what the gradient of this line is. We don't know what the gradient is, which is what would help us to work out the equation. But we do know that if we draw a line from the center to this point A, if we know the gradient of that line, we can use the radius, we can do the reciprocal, because this line, the red line and the blue line, will meet at 90 degrees. So we can look at the equation if we know the gradient of the red line. So the line OA, actually what I could do is I could reuse that triangle. So if I rub this off, so we know that side is 15, we know A is 6, and this is minus 15 because the line is going down. It means that to work out the gradient here is the difference in y over the difference in x. So the difference in y is 15 over the difference in x. And if we simplify that, that will give us minus 5. 3 goes into 5, 15 5 times. 3 goes into 6 twice. So it means the gradient of this line is minus 5 over 6 over 2, sorry. That should be a 2. So what is going to happen is we're going to look at the gradient of this line. Now the gradient of this line is going to be positive and is going to be the reciprocal of 5 over 2. So the gradient of this line here is going to be 2 over 5. And then the question is asking what is the equation of this line. So equation of the line is y is mx plus c. And what we need to then do is find out what the value of the c is. So where does that line meet the x-axis? And then once we work out the y-intercept, so where the line meets the y-axis, we can then write the equation. So we've got 3 things that we need before we can write an equation of a line. We've got y is mx plus c. Our coordinates, we've got y is minus, this is y, so that's minus 15, equal the gradient. So this is the gradient of that line, which is 2/5. We've got the x-coordinate. The x-coordinate is 6. So that's times by 6 plus c. And if we simplify that, we would have minus 15 equal 2 times 6 is going to give us 12 over 5 plus c. So c is going to be minus 15. We've got this fraction, so we're going to subtract this fraction because we want to make c the subject. So we're going to subtract minus 12 over 5. They both need to end with a 5, so we need to have the denominator being a 5. So we're going to do, I have a 1 here, times this side by 5, times that by 5. So we would have minus 75 over 5 minus 12 over 5 so we would have minus 75 minus 12, that would give us minus 87. And if we change that to an improper, well, I think we can leave it as a decimal because it's a calculator paper. So we would have minus 17.4. So we've got our C. So let's have a look at our equation. We've got our gradient, which is 2 over 5. We've got our intersect, just from from looking at the line, we know it's going to be a negative anyway, so we've got minus 17.4 for C. So our equation of the line is going to be y is mx plus c. So we've got y equal 2/5 x minus 17.4.